Welcome back, everyone. It's here. And today I've got some r/BestOf for you all. As per usual, I'll be reading you the posts, giving you my opinions, and I hope you do the same down in the comments below. And without further ado, let's jump right into it. This post was collected by Direct Caterpillar 77, and their tagline is, "Saying is not a pogo stick." The original OP is throwaway 1738153928-2, posted to r/relationships July 15th, 2015. I, 25 male, walked in on my girlfriend, 27 female, of 4 years, cheating on me. Only a week after my parents passed away. Edit, not a week after my mother passed, 2 weeks. I've known my girlfriend since university and we've been dating ever since. I was supposed to propose this month. I have to postpone that because my mother passed away last month. My father passed away to blood cancer a few years back, and my mother to an aneurysm a month ago. This happened the same month, but I haven't been in the best mindset to deal with it, so I've put it off until now. My mother passed away on the 6th last month. She lives in the UK, so I went to be with my family and support them and myself for a while. My girlfriend didn't come along, as it was a last-minute flight and she had just flown out to Vancouver for business. I was with my family, essentially just my 2 brothers and some cousins, for 2 weeks. I came back to get some belongings so I can relocate there for a month or so. My girlfriend knew I was coming back and was going to come with me. I came back on the 21st, but was supposed to come back a day after. I took a taxi home as my girlfriend was still, according to her, in Vancouver. There wasn't any car in my driveway or shoes on my porch. I wasn't expecting anyone to be home anyways. I came home around 1 a.m. and walked straight into our bedroom, and she was sleeping there with some other guy. I didn't wake her up or anything, and I've been at a hotel ever since. She's been calling me for weeks, but I can't answer. I really don't know what to do. My family wasn't very close, but my parents meant everything to me. Seeing my girlfriend there made me realize I don't have anyone right now. I'm sorry if this is really jumbled, but it's 4 a.m. here, and I'm drunk and crying and trying to collect myself. I really appreciate any advice you guys can give me. Too long didn't read, flew out to my mother's funeral, came back to my girlfriend cheating, and haven't talked to her or been home since. Relevant comments, DRH Dez. You definitely should be with family right now. I'm so sorry for your loss and what you're going through. Does your girlfriend know you saw her? If not, you should just send her a text saying, "I came back home on X date. I saw you. Don't contact me again." Otherwise, she will think you're evading her because of your grief and not because she's an asshole. You said you were going to be in the UK for a month. Can you make it longer so you're with your siblings? OP responds, "I'm sorry, I passed out overnight." No, she was sleeping and it was really sudden. I didn't do much other than just turn the lights on and then leave. I don't know if she's called my brother to see if they know anything yet. I can't contact her. I feel like I need to move on. But I still feel so isolated here. I can ask for a longer leave from work, but the lease isn't due for a while, so I can move away for a bit. User Red Alistair comments, "You can text message her, no need to talk to her." OP responds, "I know it sounds stupid, but she's been sending me all these supportive texts, and I can't text her knowing she's the same person who betrayed me like that. I'm going home though. She'll be at work, so I don't know how I'll do it. I'm ending it though. It just feels so unfair still." User Red Alistair responds, "Don't reply to her. Just send her a text to say you break up. We can even write it for you if it helps." OP responds, "Could you? I don't want to sound desperate, but it would be better than my rambling to her. Even if you guys have any advice, I'd appreciate it a lot." User Hessaher comments, "Sender, I saw you in our bed with another man when you claimed to be in Vancouver. The fact that you would be doing that to me, when you know what I'm going through right now, says a lot about who you are and how you view me. This relationship is clearly over. Please don't contact me." OP responds, "This is straight to the point. I would have rambled. Thank you. I'm getting my things out soon, so I'll send it as soon as I'm away. I really appreciate this." Update, July 30th, 2015. Before I get into this, I want to thank everyone who messaged and commented. It really means a lot. And the support was overwhelming and very, very helpful. If I didn't reply, I'm sorry, but I tried to read every message. Thank you. A little more backstory. you can skip this if you just want an update on what happened. My family wasn't the closest. I do love them, but growing up as the oldest, I was the one who always had to strive to be perfect and a role model. As soon as I started to try and be myself, I was shot down and hurt, physically and mentally. I do still love my mother and father. They raised me in a really bad time, and even through that, I appreciate them. I met my girlfriend, C, in middle school. She was instantly my best friend and the one who made me forget about my home life, even if people made fun of her for hanging out with a kid. We started going out in my last year of high school and through uni. She was always the more mature and rational person throughout our relationship, while I was the one who overreacted and worried too much most of the time. Throughout our relationship, she was always the one helping me, through depression, family problems, stress, anything. We never really had any bumps in our relationship. Maybe we were holding stuff in, but we were inseparable. There were times when other guys her age tried to make a move onto her, but she always told me and was very adamant in telling me that she wasn't interested in anyone else, and she did turn every one of those guys down. Sometimes it felt like I was a burden to her, making her feel like something I used only for comfort in tough times. Even then, she would get mad if I tried keeping it to myself and urged me to always tell her. She did the same to me. Basically, our relationship was perfect to me. She was my best friend. I trusted her and loved her more than my abusive family. I'd like to think I meant the same to her. Now to what happened after the original post. After updating, I spent the early day at the motel reading all of your comments and trying to figure it all out. I called my buddy N and told him the gist of it. He was very kind and offered to move me in with him until I could sort myself out, and by 12 p.m. the next day, when she left for work, we were at the flat gathering my things and moving into his. The flat was very clean, cleaner than when I found her with someone else at least. She obviously tried to hide any evidence that anyone was there. After we finished moving, I started figuring out what to tell her, if I did tell her anything at all. Some of you very generously sent me messages and comments helping me write a message. This is what I eventually sent her. I caught an early flight back and came home early. I'm going to go straight to the point. I saw you sleeping with someone else. We were supposed to spend the rest of our lives together. The fact that you would do this to me really shows me how you felt about me. If that's what you really want, though, I'll move out. I'll keep paying my half of the lease. The landlord should fill you in on everything else. Please, for my sake at least, don't contact me ever again. The rest of the day was a drunken blur and nothing much happened until the day after. She came back home the next day and saw the message in the flat. She didn't know where I was, but she did try calling me and texting. N wouldn't let me see it first, but after a while I eventually saw what she wrote back. It was mostly a jumbled mess of questions and apologies, but she did send this after she knew I wasn't replying. I'm sorry and I don't expect you to forgive me. Yes, I cheated. Yes, I lied to you. I still love you. I'm not asking for a second chance, but I felt lonely. I know that's selfish from me because of all you went through, and I know I'm a horrible person. I felt needy. You were away, and when you came back, you never talked about it. I needed someone to show me they cared. I know I'm selfish, stupid, and a bitch. I fucked up. I still love you. I'm sorry. Goodbye. That was the last text she sent me 2 days ago. For the last 2 days, I've been shamelessly bawling my sorry eyes out. I know I shouldn't be the one crying, but I feel so alone. I have no one right now. She was the one person I trusted with my life. If she disregarded me so easily, then what am I? I honestly feel like shit, and I can write pages of how shitty I am right now. I actually don't know how I should feel. You guys really wanted and deserved an update, and thank you for all the help so far. It really means so much. Too long didn't read, moved out. She admitted to cheating without hesitation, haven't called her back, don't know how to feel. This was 11 years ago at this point in time. Kind of crazy to think. I could only really hope that OP is doing well in the decade that it's been. I fully wonder if maybe they didn't even comprehend the repercussions that could follow because they 100% thought they would be able to get away with it. Like, I can't comprehend being in a position and just seeing that my partner has lost their mother, the last of their parents, and they are now falling apart and struggling to figure out their grieving emotions, which is understandable, and in the process of doing that, not feeling an ounce of guilt as you take someone home to sleep in the bed the two of you share. It's just difficult to grasp. Like, how would you even feel comfortable with that kind of guilt and stress weighing you down in the process? And with the additional backstory of these two essentially being each other's rock, it becomes even more tragic. It becomes even more messy and tragic that she would be so selfish. I hope the past decade has been kind to you, OP. This post was collected by Direct Caterpillars 77, and their tagline is, Satan is not a pogo stick. The original OP is throwaway 77684, posted to r/mytheasshole, October 26, 2021. Am I the asshole for refusing to take my brother to school after he made jokes about one of his classmates? My brother, 15, goes to the same private school I attended. It's full of a bunch of spoiled, rich kids whose entire identity is surrounded by how much money their parents make. If you don't have a car by 16, you'll get bullied, without a doubt. So a friend shared a TikTok her sister posted, and it was a group of boys bullying a kid waiting for the bus. They were mocking him, laughing at him, and at one point, someone off camera threw food at the kid. After a few plays, I recognized two kids, one being my brother. I told my parents and they brushed it off, saying, "He's a teen boy, you know how they get." When my brother got home, I told him what he did wasn't right, and he walked away laughing. I told my mom, as long as he continues to bully people and they do nothing about it, I won't take him to school anymore. This will mean he'll have to take public transportation because my parents leave too early to work to take him to school. My parents are livid, saying I'm an asshole for being so unreasonable, insensitive over a joke. Am I in the wrong here? Hey y'all, so tomorrow is his first day taking the bus since my parents couldn't find anyone else to take him. I'll update y'all this weekend and tell you how the week went. It's pretty late and I don't think I'll keep replying to people, but I want to clarify two things. One, I bought my car with my money. My parents didn't. It's not their car, it's mine. 2, I'm not parenting my brother. I don't know how anyone jumped to that conclusion. If I no longer wish to go out of my way and pay for gas to take him to and from school every day, I don't have to. Like I said, he has the bus to take, and all it costs for kids under 18 is $1. $2 a day is not going to hurt my parents in the slightest, LOL. Guys, I would take the bully kid to school if I knew who he was. The principal and vice principal have the video sent to them already, so if I find out who the kid is, I'll see if his parents are okay with me taking him to school. I can't make any promises on anything happening since I know how this school is and how they deal with bullying. And I'm not sharing the TikTok on here. And there seems to be some confusion. I said he goes to the same school I attended, not attend. I've graduated and I'm not a minor, LOL. Okay. This is the last I'm adding on to this. I don't know how me questioning if my actions were right or wrong led to people discussing me living with my parents. Then again, it's the internet, so I'm not surprised. So I was giving my brother rides even when I was moved out, but I lived with a shitty roommate and moved back home. I am to move back out in less than a month if all works out, and if it doesn't, then I'm at home longer than I anticipated. Why are strangers so bothered my parents aren't forcing me to move out? Laughing crying emoji. Verdict, not the asshole. Relevant comments. Say your song. Not the asshole. Normally I would say that you should not be the one to punish him, and that he needs to get to school, and you should not be interfering with that. But you stated he can take public transportation to get there, and that he is 15, so not a little kid. So there should be no problem with him getting to school on his own. Also, since you appear to not feel comfortable with his bullying ways, I see no reason why you should have to expose yourself to the possibility of having to deal with them by taking him to school every day. So yeah, not the asshole. Hope he responds, "Oh no, I wouldn't deliberately make him miss school. And yeah, the bus ride is 15 to 20 minutes tops. I used to take the bus." User the Autistic Poet comments, "I was bullied all the way through school and it impacted my whole life. I tell you now, if I had kids and someone picked on them, it would be like World War III. I'd be going ballistic. At the same time, if my kids were doing the bullying, I'd go ballistic at them too. There's no place for bullying in school. By doing nothing, your parents are enabling him. Hell, they might as well be at the school at his side cheering him or encouraging him to do more. If he continues on this path, he will have that bully attitude forever. Opie responds, yeah, I was bullied for years for taking the bus, but not as bad as they did the poor kid. Seriously, it messed me up, so I thought my parents would do something about him. Update, November 15th, 2021, 3 weeks later. So, my update was denied, so it's being posted on my page instead. I apologize for the late update, but here you are. And I added dates, so there isn't any confusion. So as I said, I was no longer taking my brother to school, and my parents couldn't find anyone else to take him, so we had to take the bus. Someone mentioned, why not Uber or Lyft, and that's because my parents don't trust either. Thing is, he was off the hook the first 3 days, October 27th to the 29th, which is why y'all didn't get an update that weekend. Because my mom let him stay home the first day, then one of his friends was taking him, which stopped because he was grounded as he was one of the bullies. Then, the next Monday through Thursday, November 1st to the 4th, he had to get the bus. Monday, November 1st. He still took me as a joke, woke me up and told me to take him to school. I said no. And that's when it hit that I was dead serious. I gave him $1 and told him to take the bus. And as some of you guessed, he hated it. And according to my mom, I made him have a panic attack because he had to take public transportation. Anyways, yada yada, he missed the bus and was late to school. The other days, he took the bus and I didn't hear anything about him being bullied for it. To those of you who claimed I was making him take the bus to get bullied. Friday, my mom let him stay home again because, you guessed it, he didn't want to take the bus. So he only took it those 4 days. And for those of you who think I stopped taking him as an easy way out, literally piss off because that is not the case. It's not hard to see why I stopped taking him. You guys are reaching. As far as the bullying situation goes, I don't know if every kid has the same punishment, but surprisingly, the school made my brother apologize to the kid, gave him lunch detention, and what I do know, he and everyone involved has to pick up trash for 20 minutes every day after school and on Saturdays, with parents' permission, for 3 weeks. Any kid who posted/reposted the video got in trouble as well. The girl who I'd seen posted the video deleted it. I want to add about the bullied kid. I contacted his mom, told her about my brother being one of the kids who bullied her son, and apologized on my brother's behalf. But someone who lives nearby was willing to take him to school, so I'm sorry to those of you who was looking forward to me taking him, but I wouldn't have been able to anyways because they live too far. Also, on my parents, my mom still believes it's something a teen boy would do. But my dad admitted after seeing the video, regardless of how much or how little my brother participated, he was in the wrong. That's the only reason my brother is picking up trash, because my dad signed off on it since my mom wouldn't. And before anyone gets in the comments about any of these topics, no, I'm not sharing the TikTok. No, I'm not sharing any info about my brother. No, I'm not going to explain my housing situation, which shouldn't have even been brought up. And no, I'm not giving out any information about the school. Again, sorry for the overdue update. It's kind of interesting that in the age of TikTok and Instagram Reels and YouTube Shorts and all that kind of stuff, that nowadays people just openly film the evidence of them assaulting other students and bullying them and post it online for laughs. And because that evidence is now posted so cleanly and transparently, the school kind of is put into a corner with having to act on it and actually implement punishments for once. I was about to ask, what kind of leads to someone making these kinds of decisions and being this cruel to their fellow peers, and, well, the answer's kind of right there. It's an uninvolved mother who just writes off all the bad behaviors being, oh, well, boys will be boys. Even after the father was like, that's a bit too far. When I have kids, if one of them turns out to be a bully, it would break my damn heart because I dealt with that. And the first thing I'd be asking is, what the hell did I do wrong to create a child who would impose the kind of pain that I dealt with growing up? And the commenter, the autistic poet, is right. It does impact your life. It can rewire how you approach things. It can rewire your brain. Through elementary school and middle school, I was definitely a bit of a target. It caused me to be a bit of a lunch table drifter, kind of making sure that I wouldn't be targeted, but also the people that I was around wouldn't be targeted. I spent my lunches in the library. I always made sure that when the bell rang, I was the first one out. Even though there was a bus stop that would take me pretty much right to my house, I was always walking instead to avoid it. I was always making sure that I didn't have to worry about running into anyone. I only had to worry about looking behind me. And that kind of mentality followed me into high school. And it made it difficult to actually be able to connect with people, to find friends, to want to actually branch out and communicate or, well, make those connections. It's still a massive regret that I have to this day, is I let my fear of being hurt once more prevent me from actually building those connections with people and making friends that would have lasted for a while. Personally, I wouldn't be shocked if you could draw a line from that all the way up until roughly 2020 to 2023, and that whole fiasco. So finding out a child of mine would be perpetuating that cycle of harm and abuse and bullying, it would definitely break my heart, and I would wonder what the hell I did wrong. This post was collected by Direct Caterpillar 77, and the tagline is, "Satan is not a pogo stick." The original OP is Hapax. I actually don't know how to auditorily comprehend HAPXAX. Cool. Hapxax. Originally posted to r/TIFU, or Today I Fucked Up, January 10th, 2022. Today I fucked up by saving my neighbor's life. For starters, this literally just happened 10 minutes ago, and be ready to buckle up because boy is this one long. So my fiance, female 29, and I, male 30, have lived in our current apartment for 8 months and have had a pretty decent experience overall. It would be perfect if it wasn't for the neighbors that moved in about 4 months ago. Just to set the stage for what we've been going through, these neighbors throw parties that start at 4 a.m. and end at 2 p.m. all the time. And when they aren't having their parties, they're just blaring music loud enough to make Helen Keller ask them to shut the fuck up all day long. Both my fiance and I work from home, so this can get incredibly annoying, but nevertheless, we soldier on. Which brings us to today. Today, I noticed from my office that there is a persistent beeping. After about 5 minutes, I go to the living room and ask my fiance if that was our neighbor's smoke detector. She said that she thinks so I went to investigate. I go out in the hall and notice that the sound is coming from their apartment, but I don't smell any smoke, and the door is cold to the touch. So I figure they have it under control and go back to my apartment to continue working. About 20 minutes later, I notice it's still going off, and by this point my dog is freaking the fuck out. So I go back to the hallway, smell smoke, and courageously bang on the door. No answer. I continue banging on the door, but no one is responding. So I do the only logical thing and call maintenance. I give maintenance man, henceforth MM, the rundown on the day's events, and he says he'll be right over. Problem solved, right? Wrong, because this, dear listeners, is when the story gets fun. Why did you call maintenance before 911? Maintenance man arrives, goes to the neighbor's apartment, and does his maintenance thing. When no one answers, he goes in, and the horrid smoke detector finally stops. I'm just about set to go back to my work when, all of a sudden, there's a knock on my door. I open it to find maintenance man standing there on the phone telling another member of maintenance to get the police and ambulance on their way over because he thinks the kid next door is dead. Maintenance man then looks at me and says, "I need you to come in here with me in case he's faking," and attacks. Now, I have been in some fights in my youth, but I am in no means someone who is prepared to duke it out with anyone holding any kind of weapon. Not to mention the fact that the maintenance man has a good 2 feet and 120 pounds on me, so if he goes down, I'm all but fucked. So naturally, I do the responsible thing and agree to go with maintenance man. We enter an apartment filled with smoke, and I see a burnt pot on a stove covered in the foam from a fire extinguisher. Apparently, a fire had started, and maintenance man put it out and opened all the windows to try to get rid of the smoke. And sure enough, passed out on the floor is one of my fucking neighbors. Henceforth, Firestarter, a kid I am assuming is around 23. Maintenance man proceeds to shake and nudge Firestarter in an attempt to get a response, but this kid ain't moving, folks. We're in there for at least 5 minutes trying to get this kid up. So, eventually, maintenance man tells whoever he's on the phone with to get the ambulance and police over here now. Apparently, police was the magic word because Firestart wakes the fuck up and goes aggro on maintenance man. Maintenance man takes it like a champ and proceeds to tell Firestarter he's a dumbass and almost burning down a building is not okay. Firestarter just keeps yelling for maintenance man to get the fuck out. I had beyond backed out into the hall at this point. Maintenance man keeps his cool and just keeps saying, "Man, we just saved your life, show some goddamn respect." Firestarter then asks for maintenance man's name so he can report him, which maintenance man gave, then asked for my name so he can report me for trespassing. Maintenance man refused to give my name, saying, "He's the only reason you're alive right now, you useless shit." To which, Firestarter grabs a kitchen knife and starts waving it at maintenance man. Maintenance man keeps his cool, collects his keys, and walks off, all while Firestarter chases him down the stairs, being an incoherent little shit. In the meantime, I have predictably retracted to my own apartment, only to have Firestarter standing outside my door screaming, "I know where you live, you piece of shit!" Good times. Too long didn't read, dumbass young violent neighbor passed out and caught his stove on fire. I called maintenance, thereby saving his life, and now I'm looking for a new place to live. Relevant comments. Jen Mischief. Quote, refused to give my name, saying he's the only reason you're alive right now, you useless shit. End quote. Sounds like maintenance man is owed 1 dozen donuts. OP responds, maintenance man is great. He'll get here at 6 a.m. if we're having problems, even though he doesn't start until 9. I already gave him a box of cookies for Christmas for being great. Dude is owed way more than sweets for this one. User Bastion Bard responds, also make sure to use the buddy system whenever you have to leave the apartment unless you know Firestarter is arrested. User Go Sushi comments, you need to call the police and tell them what's up and to come and talk to, or arrest that guy for threatening you with a knife, and after you save their life. That way at least he'll get a wake-up call that he almost died. User Mango Ngo comments, restraining order. Holding a knife outside of your door saying, I know where you live, should be more than enough. Then Firestarter would also be forced to leave the building. User 7LC with a 7 instead of a V. Quote, I need you to come in here with me in case he is faking an attacks. End quote. What the fuck kind of hellscape do you live in where this is even a consideration? A commenter responds, maintenance man has probably dealt with Firestarter before. User Blue DMs comments further, man's out here fighting Charizards. User Incredible Mr. E comments, every apartment complex has at least one crazy, and the maintenance guy always knows who it is. User Plywooden comments, former maintenance guy here, can confirm, it sucks that one person can change the mood or feel of an entire apartment complex. The sad thing is that a new tenant won't realize it until they live there for a little while. User Paco Show comments, maintenance man is a fucking badass. Because of the abbreviation, I imagine him like mother's milk from The Boys. OP responds, that's why I went with MM. Add about 10 years to the actor, and they looked almost the same. User Van Don Xcoliabe comments, why would you call the maintenance man and not 911/emergency services? Not judging, just confused. OP responds, maintenance man was right next door, and they have a key, and the last time we called emergency services in this neighborhood, it took half an hour to get here. Update. Just got done giving my statement to the police. Thank you to everyone who was asking for updates. It's for sure a fucked up tale that is far from over. I'll provide updates as I hear things. Update 2. There has been a cop outside the apartment building all morning. Haven't heard anything from inside today though. Final update, January 31st, 2022, same post, 3 weeks later. Update 3. Haven't updated for a while because I was waiting on confirmation, but Firestarter was evicted. We noticed someone moving out about a week later, but didn't see who it was, and yesterday, noticed another couple moving in. Haven't met them yet, but I also haven't heard a peep from their apartment, even with them unloading. So, they are already better than our last neighbor. In an acknowledgement, Yes, we should have called the fire department first. We didn't because this is not the first time their smoke detector has just gone off. Usually they let it beep the whole time they cook, but it has never gone off that long before. My two theories about what was going on here pretty much boils down to either there was a gas leak in his apartment while he was cooking and he ended up inhaling the fumes and passing out, perhaps even carbon monoxide or something like that, which then caused a dazed and confused state. The other one, which unfortunately feels the most likely, is they were on some form of narcotic and ended up passing out. Or were just barely lucid and the smoke detectors didn't really faze them, people around them didn't really faze them for being in a party environment, but the mention of the police, oh, that made them shoot right up and made them get aggressive. I don't know though. Sorry this Saturday's a bit shorter than posts have previously been. I've been trying to give myself some breathing room so I could give myself a couple of days off, and I think I could probably use it if I'm gonna be honest. Don't forget, GamerSups, use code OZ at checkout. Every purchase made supports the channel directly. This time I was drinking Chug Juice. It's basically just gummy bear. It's actually pretty good. Use code OZ at checkout. They actually do make some really nice non-anime stuff that I think is actually pretty well designed, and it allows you to both support the channel, get some nice caffeine, and without making everyone think that you're some kind of basement-dwelling degenerate like me. I am actually pleasantly surprised about the positive reception that I've been getting about the more rambly and random outros. Well, I'm about to go to bed. I also finished recording an hour and 30 minutes surprise for you guys next week, so I'm really excited about that one. It's been in production for, well, a couple days now. Took a bit to record that and get it all edited, but it'll be up next week. You'll know it when you see it. Take care, everyone.